Hello, welcome to the session on the subject Design of Machine Elements 2, subject code 18ME62 of ATU. So in this session, I'll be explaining about the design procedure for solving the problems on bevel gears. Beam strength of bevel gears. So the equivalent tangential force at the large end of the teeth of bevel gear as per the Lewis equation is given by the equation Ft is equal to pi sigma d Cv b by m into L minus b by L. Equation number 12.37, where sigma d is the allowable static stress and m refers to the module at the large end of the teeth, and small y refers to the Lewis form factor, which is based on the formative number of teeth. Actually this is in capital Y, but already this is substituted so in this particular equation. So next we have the cone distance capital L, that is given by the equation half into square root of d1 square plus d2 square, where d1 is the pitch circle diameter of the pinion, d2 is the pitch circle diameter of the gear, and this can be represented by the equation again half into m into square root of z1 square plus z2 square, since m is equal to d by z, so you can represent this in this particular form. The equations for the velocity factor for the bevel gear are given by, so whenever the teeth are cut by using form cutters, the equation is Cv is equal to 3.05 over 3.05 plus V, equation number 12.38a. And when the teeth are generated, then we have the equation for Cv given by Cv is equal to 6.1 over 6.1 plus V, equation number 12.38b. Similarly, for face width, in order to determine the value of the face width, we have the two equations, one of which is B should be greater than or equal to 6 times the module, or and B should be less than or equal to 10 times the module. Equation number 12.36a, and we have one more equation, equation number 12.36b, according to which B should be less than or equal to L divided by 3, where L is the cone distance. So these are the equations for the face width. Next, coming to the dynamic load, the equation for dynamic load is given by the equation 12.40, that is Ft is equal to Ft plus K3V to Cv plus Ft divided by K3V plus square root of Cv plus Ft. So this particular equation is same as that of the spur gear. Next, for wear load, we have the equation number 12.41 for the bevel gear given by Fw is equal to d1 bqk divided by cos delta 1, and this quantity should be greater than or equal to Ft, where Ft is the dynamic load. Here Q is given by the equation 2Ze2 divided by Ze2 plus Ze1, or the ratio factor. And for the design to be safe, always the wear load should be greater than the dynamic load. Coming to the design procedure for the bevel gears, first step is to identify the weaker member between the two gears. So if the material used for both pinion and gear are same, then the pinion would be the weaker member. So if the material used for pinion and gear are different, then the strength factor sigma d into y is used to determine the weaker member, So the gear which is having lesser value of the strength factor would be the weaker member, and design should be based on that gear. So same table number 12.7 can be used to take the values or select the values of the allowable static stress for the gear materials. In order to find the strength factor, we need to find the Lewis form factor, small y, which depends upon the type of the tooth profile and the formative number of teeth. So these are the equations which give the equations for Lewis form factor based on the uh, tooth profile. And formative number of teeth is given by Z is equal to Z by cos delta, where delta is the pitch angle. So if the involute system or a type of the tooth profile is not given, then we can assume the 20-degree full depth involute system, which is widely used. And if the strength factor sigma d1 into y1 is less than sigma d2 y2, then pinion is the weaker member. And if sigma d2 y2 is less than sigma d1 y1, then gear is the weaker member. So we can also make use of the table in order to specify the weaker member. Table 12.7 provides the values of the allowable static stress sigma d based on the material. Next step is to find the module. So the equations are almost the same, with the small change in the Lewis equation. So this is the equation which is for the tangential tooth load. Equation number 12.7a, same equation we are going to use, and we need to find the service factor from table number 12.8 depending upon the service conditions. Then we have the uh, Lewis equation given by equation number 12.37 for the bevel gears, where Ft is equal to sigma d into Cv, should be sigma d into Cv into B into capital Y into M into L minus P over L. So this is the equation. If at all gear is the weaker member, we put sigma d2, and here in place of this is capital Y is given by pi into small y, and y will be replaced by y2. Similarly, if pinion is the weaker member, we replace it by sigma d1 and y1 respectively. So face width here in case of bevel gears is given by the equation number 12.36a, which is B is greater than or equal to 6 times the module, and it's less than or equal to 10 times the module. Or B is also specified in terms of the cone distance by the equation number 12.36b, that is B should be less than or equal to L divided by 3. So this is the equation for that we can use for the face width. So then we need to substitute all these things in the Lewis equation, and we need to find out the m cube Cv value in case if we don't know the diameter. First category of problems, we need to find out the m cube Cv value, the required value, which is the same step as we have seen in case of the spur and helical gears. So then we need to do the trial in order to find the module, especially if the diameter is not known. Next, select the standard module from the table number 12.24 for the bevel gears. So after that, we can find the pitch circle diameter of the pinion, pitch circle diameter of the gear, that is d1 and d2 respectively, as well as the face width B once we find the value of the standard module. So this is the table for service factor CS depending upon the service conditions. We can take the value of the service factor. So this is the table 12.24 which can be used to select the standard value of the module for the bevel gauge. So here modules within the brackets are of second preference. Next step is to check for the induced stress in order to check whether the module whatever we obtain is satisfactory or not. So the allowable stress or the permissible stress is given by the product of sigma d and Cv. Induced stress can be found out from the Lewis equation for the bevel gauge, is this equation, and if we replace this product sigma d into Cv in this particular Lewis equation by the induced stress, then we can find out what is the stress that is induced, actual value of the stress. So for the design to be safe, the induced value of the stress should always be less than the permissible stress. Next step is to find the dynamic load. The equation is same as we have used in case of spur gear. So where the different parameters what we have seen, the velocity, the dynamic factor C, the error small e, and the constant K3. So these are all same. So next we can find the value of the dynamic factor capital C using this table number 12.12, depending upon the combination of the materials and type of the tooth form and based on the error value of the error small e. So table number 12.14 gives the value of the maximum permissible error which is based on the velocity. So based on the velocity we can find out the maximum permissible error from this table. Next step is to find the wear load, where we have the equation for wear load. Fw is equal to d1 b q e k divided by cos delta 1 should be greater than fd, that is the dynamic load, where q is nothing but the ratio factor. It's given by the equation 2Ze2 by Ze2 plus Ze1, where Ze1 and Ze2 are nothing but the formative number of teeth on the pinion and gear respectively. So here we can refer to table number 12.16, which gives the value of the load stress factor K. So again depending upon the type of the tooth profile and the combination of the materials, we can find out the value of the load factor K. So for satisfactory design, the wear load should always be greater than the dynamic load for the design to be safe. So this is the design procedure for the bevel gauge.